Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into Freemasonry. Ever heard of the Daughters of the Nile? It might conjure up images of ancient queens like Cleopatra, draped in gold, ruling by the great river. And you wouldn't be wrong. But the story is so much bigger and more fascinating than that. Today, we're going to dive into the two incredible, yet very different, groups of women who have claimed this powerful title. One, a modern force for good, and the other, a revolutionary movement that changed a nation. So what's the real story behind the Daughters of the Nile? Let's find out. Think about Cleopatra for a second, that legendary last pharaoh of Egypt, ruling from her golden throne, right? Or those ancient goddesses like Isis and Hathor, radiating power like the Nile itself. But today, we're diving into something a bit different, yet just as captivating, a powerful sisterhood that's shaking things up in our world right now. You know, women coming together to uplift each other, whether it's in politics, business, or social movements. Just look at the impact of groups like the #MeToo movement, or the incredible rise of female entrepreneurs. It's all about supporting one another, sharing stories, and making real change happen. Isn't that just inspiring? These modern Daughters of the Nile are women from various backgrounds, coming together to uplift each other and make a real difference. Whether it's through art, activism, or entrepreneurship, they're channeling that ancient strength into today's battles, proving that sisterhood is timeless. How cool is that? Let's travel back to 1913 in Seattle, Washington. A group of women, all connected to the Shriners, a well-known men's fraternal organization, decided to create something of their own. They wanted a space to build friendships, support each other, and most importantly, to serve a cause they believed in. And so the Daughters of the Nile was born. Now this isn't just any social club. This is an international fraternal organization for women with a mission that has spanned over a century. So who are these women? To become a Daughter of the Nile, you need to be at least 18 years old and have a connection to the Masonic family. This could mean you're a wife, mother, daughter, sister, or widow of a Shriner or a Master Mason. In a beautiful full-circle gesture, they also welcome former patients of Shriners Hospitals, now known as Shriners Children's, who have reached adulthood. Their core purpose is deeply rooted in philanthropy. While they focus on character building, fostering lifelong friendships, and personal growth, their main charitable focus is supporting Shriners Children's. If you're not familiar, Shriners Children's is an incredible network of hospitals and clinics that provides top-tier pediatric specialty care, regardless of a family's ability to pay. They treat children with orthopedic conditions, burns, spinal cord injuries, and cleft lip and palate. It's a lifeline for countless families. And the Daughters of the Nile are their staunchest allies. Since they officially partnered with the hospitals in 1924, their contributions have been nothing short of staggering. Are you ready for this number? They have donated over $75 million. That's not a typo, $75 million. This money goes directly towards the medical care and rehabilitation of children, funding everything from prosthetics and braces to vital research that pushes the boundaries of pediatric medicine. But their support isn't just about writing checks. It's hands-on. The organization is structured into local chapters called temples, and a national governing body called the Supreme Temple. Within these temples, members organize a huge variety of fundraising events. Think galas, bake sales, auctions, you name it. They also volunteer their time directly at the hospitals. They sew quilts and blankets, donate toys and books to make a child's hospital stay a little brighter, and help out at hospital events. They are a constant, comforting presence for the patients and their families. The structure of the organization itself is filled with tradition. They have meaningful ritualistic ceremonies that help instill their core values, a belief in a supreme being, the importance of service, and a commitment to what they call the Sisterhood of Women. The leadership titles within each temple, like Queen, echo that ancient Egyptian theme we talked about at the beginning, connecting their modern mission to a timeless sense of mystique and grandeur. It has this blend of social connection and profound purpose that makes the Daughters of the Nile so special. Members forge deep, lasting friendships. They have a built-in support system of women who share their values. They travel, they celebrate, they support each other through life's ups and downs. But it's all anchored by this shared goal of helping children in need. Now it is also important to acknowledge that the name Daughter of the Nile has another powerful meaning in history. In the mid-20th century, an influential Egyptian feminist movement was led by the trailblazer Doria Shafik. Her group was called Bint al-Nil, which translates to Daughter of the Nile. They fought tirelessly for women's suffrage and equal rights in Egypt, staging protests and challenging the status quo. Their bravery fundamentally changed the course of women's history in the region. So when we use the phrase Daughters of the Nile, we're touching on multiple streams of history. We have the historical figures, the powerful queens and goddesses who ruled the ancient world. We have the revolutionary feminists who fought for a better future. And we have this incredible fraternal organization of women in the United States and Canada, who for over 100 years have dedicated themselves to a mission of love, service, and sisterhood. What connects them all? The Nile River itself has always been a symbol of life, sustenance, and power. It's a force that nurtures, that creates, that endures. And these women, in their own unique ways, embody that very spirit. The modern Daughters of the Nile provide a river of support for children and families, giving them a chance at a healthier, fuller life. Imagine being part of something that has this kind of legacy. It's a commitment to enriching the lives of others, fostering intellectual growth, and upholding a sense of community. Through their foundations in both the U.S. and Canada, every dollar raised, every hour volunteered, flows directly to where it's needed most, the children at Shriners Children's. So the next time you hear Daughters of the Nile, look beyond the pyramids and pharaohs. Picture a vibrant network of thousands of women across North America, working together, united by a single powerful purpose: to make the world a better place, one child at a time. Their story is a testament to what can be achieved when compassion and dedication come together. It has a legacy of generosity that has changed countless lives and continues to flow as powerfully as the river that inspired their name. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today. It is stories like these that remind us of the incredible good that people are doing in the world every single day. If you found this interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories you might not have heard before. First, let's travel back to the early 20th century, specifically to Seattle, Washington. In 1913, a group of women, all connected to the Shriners, a well-known men's fraternal organization, came together. They were wives, mothers, sisters, and daughters of Shriners and Master Masons. They wanted to create their own space, a sisterhood focused on character, friendship, and service. And so the Daughters of the Nile as a fraternal organization was born. Their mission from the very beginning was clear and powerful: to support the incredible work of Shriners Hospitals for Children. If you're not familiar, Shriners Children's provides life-changing medical care to kids with orthopedic conditions, burns, spinal cord injuries, and more, regardless of their family's ability to pay. It's an amazing cause, and these women decided to make it their own. They organized themselves into local chapters, which they call temples, and a national governing body called the Supreme Temple. The local temples, scattered all across the United States and Canada, are the heart of the organization. Members hold social events, build lifelong friendships, and most importantly, work tirelessly to raise funds for the hospitals. And when I say tireless, I mean it. Since they officially started their philanthropic work for the hospitals in 1924, the Daughters of the Nile have donated over $75 million. Let that sink in. $75 million. This money goes directly into the Shriners Children's Hospital system, funding everything from cutting-edge medical equipment to patient care to research that benefits children worldwide. But it's not just about writing checks. These women are hands-on. They volunteer their time at the hospitals, sewing quilts and blankets, donating toys and books, and organizing parties for the young patients. They bring a sense of warmth and comfort, a personal touch that means the world to these children and their families during difficult times. Their work is a beautiful blend of fundraising and direct, heartfelt support. Membership is open to women aged 18 and over with a connection to the Masonic family. This includes relatives of Shriners or Master Masons. But there's another very special category of members, former patients of Shriners hospitals. Imagine being a child who received care and then growing up to join the very organization that helped you. It's a powerful full-circle testament to the impact they have. At its core, the organization is about fostering a sisterhood of women, united by a belief in a higher purpose and a commitment to serving others. They hold rituals and ceremonies that reinforce these values, creating a deep bond among members. They are a shining example of how a community of dedicated individuals can make a monumental difference in the world, one child at a time. So when you hear about the Daughters of the Nile today, this is the incredible charitable powerhouse they're likely talking about. But now let's rewind the clock again and travel across the globe to a different Nile, the one flowing through Egypt in the mid-20th century. Here, the name Daughter of the Nile took on a revolutionary meaning. This wasn't a fraternal organization. It was a fiery feminist movement. And at its head was a trailblazing woman named Doria Shafik. Born in 1908, Doria Shafik was highly educated, earning a doctorate from the Sorbonne in Paris. She was a poet, a philosopher, and a publisher. But above all, she was a fighter for women's rights in a society where those rights were severely limited. In the late 1940s, she founded the Bent al-Nil Union, which translates to the Daughter of the Nile Union. Their goals were radical for the time. They demanded full political rights for women, including the right to vote and hold public office. They fought for equal pay and for reforms to personal status laws that kept women in a subordinate position. Doria Shafik and her Daughters of the Nile were not content to ask politely. They believed in direct action. In 1951, they staged one of their most famous protests. Shafik led 1,500 women to storm the Egyptian parliament, demanding their constitutional rights. They occupied the building for hours, bringing the government to a standstill. It was a bold, shocking move that sent waves across the country and the world. They weren't just asking for a seat at the table. They were kicking the door down. They organized literacy campaigns for women in rural areas, set up employment offices to help women find jobs, and ran a magazine that became a voice for the movement. Their activism was multifaceted, addressing the political, social, and economic barriers holding women back. Another legendary moment came in 1954, when a new constitutional committee was formed without any female members. Doria Shafik and 8 other women went on a hunger strike. Their protest drew international attention and put immense pressure on the government. It was a risky, desperate, and incredibly brave act of defiance. And it worked. Partly due to the relentless pressure from the Daughters of the Nile, Egyptian women were granted the right to vote in 1956. It was a monumental victory, a turning point in the nation's history. Doria Shafik and her followers had achieved what many thought was impossible. However, their story doesn't have a simple happy ending. Shafik's outspoken criticism of President Gamal Abdel Nasser's regime eventually led to her being placed under house arrest in 1957. Her name was erased from public record, and her contributions were silenced for decades. She lived in isolation for 18 years before her tragic death. It's a heartbreaking end for a woman who gave so much for her country. But history has a way of remembering its heroes. In recent years, Doria Shafik's legacy has been rediscovered and celebrated. She is now recognized as a pivotal figure in the global fight for women's suffrage and a true pioneer of Egyptian feminism. Her Daughters of the Nile were not a social club. They were a revolutionary vanguard that reshaped a nation's destiny. So there you have it. Two groups of daughters of the Nile, separated by continents and contexts, but both representing the incredible power of women united for a cause. 1. A modern sisterhood of charity, compassionately caring for children in need. The other, a historic vanguard of revolutionaries, bravely fighting for freedom and equality. The phrase itself carries the weight of history, from ancient goddesses and queens like Isis and Cleopatra, who were intrinsically linked to the life-giving river, to these modern women who drew inspiration from its name. The Nile has always been a symbol of life, power, and endurance. It's no wonder these incredible women, in their own unique ways, chose to call themselves its daughters. Whether they are raising millions for sick children or storming parliaments for human rights, the daughters of the Nile embody strength, purpose, and the unwavering belief that a dedicated group of women can and will change the world. It's a legacy that continues to inspire us today. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into hidden histories. See you next time.